Okay, today we are going to take a look at Words of the Wiser, which is another signpost for our notice and note. Pause the video right now so that you can fill in your blanks. Okay, so Words of the Wiser, as you can see from your description, is when our main character or our protagonist gets some advice or thoughts from another character who is older than them, has more experience than they do, and can help inform them as they go through their character growth, as they're going through their struggles. Okay, pause your video again, fill in the blanks on your notes sheet with the words that are underlined on this slide. Okay, so one of the ways that we can tell that we are reading a Words of the Wiser signpost is that the character is usually off kind of away from the action that maybe we've been seeing from the character or the interaction with other characters. And they kind of have a quiet moment where they're thinking about things, and then the other older, wiser character comes in to talk to them. When we ask our anchor question, we're asking, what is the lesson that this older, wiser character is giving to our protagonist? But then the more important thing we're asking is, how might it affect the character? So pause your video and think for a minute. How might advice or insight from an older, wiser character affect our main character or our protagonist? Just pause the video for a second and think about that. So this advice can help them make a decision that they're struggling with, and move the plot along. It could help the main character come to a realization or an understanding that they didn't have before. And this can help develop our theme. It can help contribute to the character's growth. It can help the character resolve some internal conflict that they're going through. So these Words of the Wiser, while they're coming from a different character, they help our character, our main character, become who they're supposed to be. Someone you might think of is if you think about Harry Potter. He's our main character. He's our protagonist, right? One of the characters who serves as an older, wiser character who gives advice is Dumbledore. So oftentimes we see Harry struggling with things, and either internally or he's talking to Ron and Hermione and he's trying to figure things out. And then he has a quiet moment in the office, in the headmaster's office with Dumbledore, where Dumbledore he sometimes directly, sometimes indirectly gives Harry advice. And then Harry knows or has a sense of where he needs to go from there. Okay, so let's take a look at this practice. We have another excerpt from Walk Two Moons by Sharon Creech. I was going to explain about the nervous young man and the mysterious messages, but my father would call me a goose. Instead, I said, how do you know that someone, not exactly a lunatic, but just someone, didn't make Mom go to Idaho? Maybe it was blackmail. Sal, your mother went because she wanted to go. We should have stopped her. A person isn't a bird. You can't cage a person. Pause your video, take a minute, think about what moment in this excerpt would serve as Words of the Wiser. What is something that Sal is learning that she can apply not just in this moment, but in other places in her life, right? Because advice isn't just about that one specific moment. It's about learning something that you can apply to the problem that you're having, and then you can apply at later times in your life. So pause your video, take a minute or two, then press play again to see if you found the Words of the Wiser. Okay, so this whole excerpt is about, Sal's dad giving her advice and talking to her. But the moment where he is providing her insight, providing her something that she can take with her throughout her life is when he says, a person isn't a bird. You can't cage a person. What do you jot down in your notes or on your notes page what you think this piece of advice means? And we'll talk about it in class tomorrow.